Welcome again to my channel. This is Fruitful Investment Strategies. Thank you again. And if you have not subscribed, please make sure that you subscribe on this channel. I want to give you some information about investment and all that happens, in the world of investment. And we make sure that you and your family are successful in this world that we live in, because we know how economically tough it can be. So it's always good to share the ideas and knowledge of know-how. It can be on a basis of individuality. It also can be on a basis of a group or a country. So today I'm going to talk to you about the tunnels. Norway has so many tunnels. As of a country, it has over 900 tunnels which are located all around Norway. You can see how this tunnel looks like. It's beautiful, it's fine, it has lights, and it has evacuating space. So you have tunnels like this. Well, not all of them are this big, but you have tunnels. It's a hole which has been made through, you can see, which has been made through a mountain or under sea. So in Norway is one of the most geographically really challenging country you can build in. And then Norway geography is actually dominated by fjords and islands. So you have many fjords and islands in this country. And as of 2011, the country has 33 undersea tunnels. So, fjords with all those mountains which are around fjords as well. So it's very difficult for them to build all across bridges, or maybe go around the mountain, because you have some islands. So tunnels is the better way to build, and Norway has more than 33 undersea tunnels, most of which are fixed links. So this just connection between islands, or connection between places where it's really impossible for you to reach without a tunnel, or to spare that with to spare time with the time of let's say taking boats and all that. So Norway has all those tunnels. Tunnels are chosen to replace ferries, to allow residents of islands and remote peninsula access to regional centers where water crossing are too long for bridges. So again, if you look at the map of Norway, you see that there are a lot of islands. It's really full of islands, and if man could build bridges, some of the bridges would be just too long. So it would be impossible to build all the bridges all along. So man will prefer to use tunnels, because they can just go under sea. And so you have kind of a solution. So this is the road we are driving actually to Svinesund for shopping. I hope that you have seen that video. If you've not seen that video, please check it out. It's we went to Svinesund, and that's where most of the Norwegians go there to kind of have food. So and you see that there is a lot of tunnels which are on the road, and this is due to mountains. This is due to fjords and rivers which man meets along the way. So with that in mind, the Norwegian government, or the Norwegian road municipality, has actually decided to establish tunnels. So Norway geographically, it's really dominated by fruits and islands. So that is the reason why they choose to actually build tunnels. But these tunnels, you can see, they're equipped with lights. They're equipped with all these services of actually fire extinguisher. Anything can happen in a tunnel. So the first thing which can happen in a tunnel is actually, you can be blind by light. When you're coming from the light outside and you're coming inside, you can be blinded by the darkness, or you can be blinded by the light which is inside there, so of a car which is coming out. So it takes time before the eyes get used to the tunnels. So that is one of the things. So once you're driving in the tunnel, please make sure that you drive slowly, and you make sure that everything is, you pay attention to the signs which are given inside the tunnel as you start. Make sure that in the beginning, before you enter the tunnel, that you have a green light which showing that you can have a go ahead, because sometimes these tunnels can be closed due to accident which have occurred under the way. So it's better that you check these informations which are given outside of the tunnel, the entrance, before you can actually get into the tunnel. So that's one thing. And the other thing, once you have come in a tunnel, make sure that you follow speed, because most of the tunnels are equipped with cameras. So you can have a fee if you drive at a high speed. So the other thing is that if you come across an accident, or if you have been, or there is an accident which have occurred while you are in the tunnel, the best thing for you is to come out of the tunnel and don't wait for help. In the tunnel, never wait for help, because anything can happen. You can have explosive cars, and the space for protection is very limited. Look for an exit close to you. Most of these are located, they just mention it, they write it on the wall, they tell you what is the shortest way or the shortest road to go to an exit. So look for that exit, and that will lead you outside of the tunnel, because once you have explosive materials in the tunnel, that can lead to actually explosions, and it can lead to death. So you have to be very careful when it comes to these materials. Make sure that you come out of the tunnels first. But as you are going out of the tunnel, when you come out of the tunnel, look for a telephone. There is always a telephone which is really set outside them. So take that one and call the authorities to inform them about the situation. They do not actually request you to use your telephone or your cell phone, so your mobile phone. Use the telephone line which is really given them, and that will be the best thing to use, because then they can really locate where the problem is coming from and where you are, and which tunnel it is. So it's really easy for you to explain, because most of the time when man is panicking, you forget where you are, you forget the address, you forget which tunnel it is and on which. So when you use the telephone, you're making actually the work easier for the authorities, and they can really kind of follow up that. So do not drive, as I said, do not drive again in the tunnels which are closed. So be careful, and do not drive in the tunnels which are really closed. Follow the lines, follow the instructions, and that will be good. So once you're in the tunnel, it's also good to listen to the radio, what the radio is saying, what information is being given. Listen to what the radio is saying. So that will be really a good thing to follow up, because then you will not be missing any kind of information which is being given. So yes, Norway is really a beautiful country, and some of these tunnels which you find across Norway, some of them are very big, and you find roundabouts in there. You find different tunnels going into different directions. So make sure when you're driving in the tunnel, you are extremely careful and following the signs which will lead you to the right spots and where you can actually go to the right place, because it can take you a lot of time to come out of the tunnel. So if you took the wrong road, it would take you a lot of time to go back again. So that is one thing. Some of the tunnels, especially in the I can say in the western part of Norway, that we were talking about Bergen, Stavanger, on those roads there, from Oslo to those roads, you have really, really small roads there. You have small roads, and the tunnels are really not well. They are not really well standardized as we have in the eastern part of Norway that we're talking about, Oslo and the places around. So there is a difference, between the eastern part and the mid of Norway and the west, and the western part. So there is a big differences. Some of these tunnels which are in the eastern part are really well developed. They're good. They have a lot of space. They have a lot of light. But in the western part, it's really, you have some tunnels which are really, really difficult to drive. You have some tunnels which have water flowing across from the mountains. You have some tunnels, there is the topography there. It's really much more difficult than what we have in this other, what we have in the east and in the west. So the topography is very different. But I have to admit that the really driving condition, or the roads system, or the tunnel system in the western part is worse, and that is also because of the, I can say, the number of people living in this country, because you have most of the people living in the eastern part. That is Oslo. You can take Fredrikstad, you can take Drammen and Lillehammer, and then you go up to Trondheim. You have a lot of people living across this side than in Bergen and Stavanger and all those places. So that's why you have most of the development happening actually in the Oslo area or the surrounding of Oslo. So you have a lot of really good roads and open roads, and good traffic there, compared to many other parts where actually the roads are not in that good condition. You have small roads, and sometimes these roads can have potholes. But not to be critical, but I can say this country has one of the most beautiful scenes. I mean, mountains. It's really beautiful. As when you're driving on the road, you can see mountains, and you can see different topography, which is really happening around. And the scenetic of this country is just beautiful. You seem to be like you're watching a movie. So, and I think that is very good. Building tunnels really helps the community to travel very fast and to reaching the places very, very fast. And it's really equivalent. It's really easy to actually follow these tunnels, and instead of building bridges. I think it's cost efficient, but it also needs a lot of maintenance. Once these tunnels are not maintained for quite a long, they can really collapse. So a tunnel can be built, we can say it has a life of up to 100 years. So people have to make sure, or the authority have to make sure that these tunnels can last as long as that. So that is one thing. And these tunnels have to be updated according to the norms which are coming every year or every 10 years according to what the regulation is putting up there. So that has to be regulated every time. So you can see rocks are being hewed, mountains are being cut through, and they're making tunnels so that, people can reduce travel time. It's all about reducing travel time, and that's reduce actually the time of raw materials to come into the country, foods and all that which is coming. The connection is easy, and people can really travel across Europe or across Norway easily in a very short period of time. As we say, time is money, so that is what really it is all about here. making it easier for the citizens to travel, which makes them to really invest more and really to kind of spare their time and the time of travel, because you have most of the people going to work in Oslo or the surrounding areas. So it's really nice actually to have these roads which can link the different communities together and bring the investments cost high, because people, when you have good roads, when you have good connections, and when you have shortcuts, which means you are allowing people to invest more, you are allowing people really to shorten their travel time, which brings communities together, which brings cities together, and which brings development on high. Please let me know if you like this channel, and let me know if you like this video. Please subscribe and make sure that you actually be part of this channel, and share much more. I want to hear more from you guys. I want to see more comments, and I want to see somebody writing what they think about this video. And if you like this kind of video, let me know so that we can have a fruitful investment. So I think in all this, we have to copy this model and maybe expand it in Africa and many other countries which are really not as developed as this. Let it be India or let it be South America. We have to kind of build really roads and good network which connects people and bring people together, which can really bring a lot of investment in the country. Because of investment in roads and tunnels, you have more investors coming to Norway to invest in all things. It can be in the technology sector, in the weapon sector. You know, you have all these investments which really are coming to Norway because of the infrastructure that has been put in place. So thank you, and please remember to subscribe on this channel and be part of it as we continue. So see you on the next one.